Okay, the gloves are coming off. I've tried to record this video several times, and clearly the problem isn't the fact I have no script, it's the fact that I'm being nice. So, I'm not gonna be nice. Here it goes. Um, I am well aware, just a quick background about myself. People may not know me, I don't expect people to watch all my videos. I'm well aware of the blessing, as people might see it, of having more time on my hands. Um, a lot of that has to do with my sickness and stuff that I'm going through, not having a job, stuff like that. So these are people who are also on top of being sick, with many things, have jobs, have doctor's visits, they have a whole hell of a lot of other things, and I understand that. I try to be a very understanding person, um, and people may say it's to a fault. Um, but these are people who are paid to communicate. Um, I'm well aware that not many people may have this viewpoint, but it might help if more people did. That live streams are for people who pay. These are people who communicate, like I said, and they get paid to communicate. And there are people who pay to communicate with them and are very angry if they don't, if the streamer doesn't say anything or interact with them, right? Um, and it's people. I don't know if this is a slant against me, against my character. People call me a YouTuber enthusiast. I'm not. Um, I come from a very interesting background. Like I said, not just with my health, but in general, the way I grew up, the way I was raised, and a lot of these people did as well. A lot of YouTubers did as well. And I'm sort of counting on there being some sort of commonality, common ground of problems, right? Problems bring people together, and they make people, even if there's nothing really that meshes personality-wise, that there are, like I said, problems bring people together. You talk enough about your problems, another person talks about their problems. That might, from the outside, look like that's all the conversation is, but it's a conversation, right? And that's going to lead somewhere. Um, I don't go around, oh, woe is me. I don't feel bad for myself one fucking bit. Um, like I said, these people are paid to communicate. It's their job, right? And I've had some of them block me. And was I angry? No. I was more angry that nothing was communicated. Right? And people are wondering, where can I see this? On my Twitter account, I have all my replies public. Everything on my Twitter account is public. I do not delete posts. I try not to, and if I do, I'm sure all my shit and everybody else's shit they've ever said is on the Wayback Machine. Someone's archiving that thing, Rogue AI or whatever. Someone's keeping track of everything everybody says, right? I'm very open about what I believe, what I think. It's all on social media and on YouTube, right? And I had one, I think it was Raiden, what was his name? Yeah, I flirted. I was being flirty. Um, and I typically don't flirt with women in America for a reason because they get weird about it. I like to flirt with women from Asia or some parts of Europe because a lot of them are still women and they like attention. And not all man-hating psychopaths. That would be the assumption, right? But and the reason why I keep bringing up their paid to communicate, like if this was just a normal person, I'm going to say yes, normal people are different. The expectation is different. This is someone whose job it is to communicate, right? And she blocked me. And I was cool with that. I let her know that, I understand why, but I would have appreciated that that before escalating to blocking someone, that you communicate like, hey, I don't mind you saying things, but just like say them differently or don't say them at all, right? These are people who work for corporations that I know have some capacity to translate things, be it some sort of program or a person that they hire or something. As part of corporation, they have vastly more tools than me or you or any other person would have. Um, and that's just one example, right? But I'm not mad at that person. Like I said, I appreciate it because there's one thing I hate less in communication. It's having I'm going to say time wasted. It's not so much time, it's energy, right? Like I said, I'm sick. I'm unable to work. People like think, well, like you're home all day, right? You don't do anything. I don't. I'm not a jobless loser because I want to be. Let me just get that clear. Talking takes energy. It takes energy for a regular person. It takes energy for someone who does communication as a job, and it takes a lot of energy if you're sick. Just get the flu or the cold. If you live in America or Europe, get flu or the cold, and try to communicate with people. It's not fun. Your head's stuffed up. Your nose sounds like you've been taking nose dust all day. Just shit like that, right? And I know I said the gloves are coming off. For me, this is the gloves coming off. Right? Like I get mad like a British person does. I get mad like a drill sergeant does. I don't yell at someone because they're going to turn out. They're going to tune out. I politely dress them down, right? And about me leaving comments, I'm at a point where I've left hundreds of comments, not just nicely flirting with these people. And yes, there are people at at Hololive, at just independent VTubers, right? There are people who don't like to generally show their face because, like I said, a lot of them don't think they look nice. A lot of them have health problems, self-esteem problems, just shit like that. Normal people shit. Um, they're not all fat men with beards, right? Like, you can tell if you're generally interested in someone. I'm just gonna put this out here. If you're generally interested in someone, conversationally, and then as a person, and it may be more than that, you pick up on a lot more than someone who's just having a conversation. If you're just shooting the shit, like nice weather, talking about sports, and even that requires you to be somewhat interested in someone, right? Men don't just do that shit. I get that maybe women do, but even then, there has to be like some level of interest in a person. So I don't buy that crap that women do it because they're just being friendly with other women or men, right? Like I said, communication takes energy, and no one does it for nothing. There's things you pick up on, right? And when someone's fat, their voice is different. When someone's using a voice changer, there are things you can pick up on. And like I said, if you're interested in someone, you'll pick up on the shit. Right? It doesn't take a forger, or an artist, or an audiophile to pick up on things. If someone has a dick, sound travels to the body, right? That's not what this is about, but that's like a tangent. When you leave hundreds and thousands of very nice comments, and there's a theme. I keep a theme. Like, I try to be open and honest about what I want. And when someone lets you leave that many comments and doesn't say anything, that's what I have a problem with. And I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not gonna say just me. A lot of people have a problem with that. Right? These are people. Let me remind you that I still remember. I'm old enough to remember this stuff. Have complained ad nauseum. Oh, where the men go? Where are all the men? And it's interesting because it's like they've had their come to Jesus moments. Like, did we run them off? We get scared and we don't talk to people, and then by the time we do, the person evaporates because someone else gave them that attention. You know, I'm going to say this: men and some women are dogs. At the end of the day, if they're flirting with you or having a conversation with you, they are doing it because they want to talk to you. And rare is the person that will put up with your schedule. And even rarer is a person that will sacrifice the way they look to try to talk to you or have a conversation or have a relationship with you. And like I said, you've had your come to Jesus moment. You've, as a community and as people who do this professionally, have said, well, maybe we should just communicate with them. And so more of you have said that, well, if you don't want people talking like that, you should just block them. Or, God forbid, communicate and say, please stop. I've had people do that to me. Say, please stop. And I've stopped. I stopped. And I went somewhere else. And I am going to send this to Hololive. I'm going to shoot this out into the greater VTuber community. And I'm going to bookend this conversation. How long is this? I'm going to bookend this conversation by saying that... Oh, fuck, what was I going to say? That these are the same people that have talked about all the other things I said, but also said it's not about the frequency of conversation or comment. It's about the quality. I'm open to feedback. As someone who makes videos, even as people might view it on a hobby basis, with the cheapest equipment possible, I'm open to feedback. If it's actionable feedback, if it's something I can act on. Hey, your spelling's wrong. Your information's wrong, or you might want to look into this thing or that thing. I'm open to that. Right? And rather I act on it or not, I will still say thank you. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your feedback. I've done that. Even if it's trolls. I've had people troll me. Leave mean comments just to get me to interact with them. I've thanked them for helping out the algorithm. And I'm going to end it here. And I'm going to end it by saying that everybody else is watching. People are watching what's going on. That it's not just me that gets notifications. It's your viewers. It's your subscribers. They get notifications whenever I leave a comment on social media, on YouTube. And I'm not threatening you. I'm not threatening your business. I'm saying that these are people who as they get introduced into the streaming and YouTube and VTuber community, are going to start running into videos and clips of what I just mentioned about you saying all the things, having your come to Jesus moment, which basically means like realizing that you've fucked up. And they're not going to make a video. They're going to leave. Maybe they'll leave a hateful comment. A lot of them are just going to walk away. And maybe if you go on vacation, the best thing you can do is to just stay gone. Maybe it's not a bad thing people forget about you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry the video is 14 minutes long, and have a good day.